Why Christmas was more magical in the 70s. There was something in the air back then. Maybe it was the scent of fresh pine from the real Christmas tree, or the soft crackle of the fireplace while snow gently danced outside our windows. The world seemed quieter, slower. We didn't have smartphones buzzing or the glow of screens everywhere, just the warm flicker of Christmas lights wrapped around our front porch, big colorful bulbs that hummed softly in the cold night. I remember looking out through the frosted window as a kid, watching the snow fall under the street lamp, each flake catching a bit of light like it had its own story. Inside, the TV hummed in the background, one of those big wood-paneled sets, showing a Charlie Brown Christmas or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. There was a magic in the waiting. The living room was dim except for the glow of the tree, and sometimes I'd just sit there, cross-legged on the shag carpet, staring at the ornaments. Each one had a history, one made in school, one passed down from Grandma. It felt like the room itself was holding its breath for Christmas morning. And in that quiet, that stillness, Christmas didn't need anything more. It just was. The day we decorated the house felt like the true beginning of Christmas. Dad would haul out the old cardboard boxes from the attic, dusty, worn, taped, and retaped over the years, and suddenly the whole house came alive. He'd put on his flannel shirt and winter boots, and I can still see him outside, balancing on the ladder, stringing up those big, bulbous Christmas lights. Red, green, blue, yellow. They didn't blink, they just glowed. Soft and steady, and when the sun went down and he plugged them in, the whole block lit up like magic. Inside, Mom had her own rhythm. She'd tie on her holiday apron, the same one every year with faded snowmen and a little tear near the pocket, and she'd get to work in the kitchen. You could smell cinnamon and vanilla before you even stepped in. Sugar cookies cut into stars and bells, pies cooling on the windowsill, and always, always, a batch of spiced apple cider simmering on the stove. The radio, big and wooden, sat on the counter. No Spotify, no playlists, just old Nat King Cole or Bing Crosby crackling through the speaker. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire played softly as we hung up stockings and argued over where to place the angel on the tree. And the tree, oh, the tree. It wasn't perfect, a little lopsided, a little sparse in the back, but it was ours, covered in mismatched ornaments, some hand-painted, some made of felt, some that had belonged to Grandma. Every year we added one more. Every year it felt just right. It wasn't about having the fanciest decorations or the newest gadgets. It was about the doing together. The laughter, the spilled flour, the slightly crooked lights. That's what made it special. And we didn't know it then, but we were making memories that would last a lifetime. Christmas Eve was the most magical night of all. After dinner, we'd gather by the fireplace, cocoa in hand, as Grandma told us old Christmas stories. The tree lights cast a soft glow across the room, and outside, snow kept falling silently. My brother and I would sit under the tree, wide-eyed, trying to guess what lay hidden in the colorful packages. The world outside faded away, and for a few sweet hours, it felt like time stood still. Just family, warmth, and the sweet, hopeful promise of Christmas morning. Later that night, Dad would pull out an old leather-bound copy of The Night Before Christmas. He'd sit in his favorite chair by the fire, the book resting in his lap, and we'd all gather around, leaning in close to hear every word. His voice was deep and calm, rising and falling with the familiar rhythm of the story. I remember how the firelight flickered across the pages, and how Dad's hand, rough from years of work, would gently turn each one like it was something sacred. Sometimes I'd glance up and catch Mom smiling from the kitchen doorway, her hands still dusted with flour from baking. After the story, we'd take a family photo, everyone a little rumpled in their Christmas pajamas, hair messy, faces glowing with happiness. We'd laugh at how silly we looked, arms thrown around each other, forever freezing that perfect, imperfect moment in time. It wasn't about grand gifts or extravagant plans. It was about being together, sharing cocoa, sharing stories, sharing laughter. Those quiet, simple moments, the ones we never thought twice about, became the memories that even now warm my heart more than anything else. Now, years later, the Christmas lights are smaller, the trees more perfect, the songs streamed from devices no one could have dreamed of back then. But sometimes, late on a snowy night, I catch a glimpse of something. A single, old-fashioned bulb glowing softly on a modern tree, and it all comes rushing back. I see the snow on the window pane, the worn carpet under the tree, the way Grandma's laughter filled the room. I feel the warmth of cocoa in my hands and the weight of anticipation in my chest. It wasn't about the gifts. It was about the glow, the soft, steady kind that lived in our hearts long after the lights were taken down. And in that quiet moment, I remember Christmas was never just a day. It was a feeling, a magic we made together, and a memory that never truly fades.